Okay, today I want to talk about um, compliments and complaining. So I just feel like they kind of go like hand in hand, and I really learned a lot about complaining and giving compliments and like how to receive compliments. So I feel like a huge problem that we have today is that we only talk about our problems. We only talk about like our health issues and our financial troubles and our relationship troubles and our family problems and our coworkers and how terrible this is and how terrible that is, and we only talk about those things, and we don't talk about like our joys enough. We don't talk about our passions and our the things that make us happy and the things that you know light us up, and and we're creating with our words and we're creating with our thoughts. And so the more we complain, the more we're creating more to complain about. So it's really just like an endless cycle. So the more you complain, it's just like about catching yourself when you're complaining. A lot of people complain about the weather. We affect the weather. Um, it's either too hot or it's too cold or it's raining or it's snowing or like, and it's always a problem. It's always like, but it's just Mother Nature. We can't control it. So just deal with it and appreciate it. And like when I see snow, I know a lot of people in Iowa, they complain about the snow when it's here, but it's beautiful. And it's awesome to live in a place that we get to experience all four seasons. And like, I think snow is magical. And it makes me feel like I'm in a snow globe, and the way like it gets super quiet because like the snow like muffles the sound because of, I don't know, there's something in the air. I don't really know like the technical scientific term, but it's beautiful and it makes it like serene, and it's just, so we find so many things to complain about, like, oh, I can't get to work, the roads are terrible, it's cold outside, it's ugly outside, like, and then, like especially in the winter we have these like um like depression because like the sun's not out as much and we don't get outside as much, we're not grounding as much. And then the summertime comes and we're like, oh, it's too hot, it's too humid, it's too this, it's too that. It's like we've just got to start appreciating things more. We've got to appreciate this earth, and we've got to appreciate like its seasons and the way that it moves, just like us. Like we're gonna experience things, we're gonna experience roadblocks, we're gonna experience challenges, we're gonna experience things that challenge us. And you can either like let those roadblocks stop you, and you can just sit there, and when you complain, you're just in this energy of being stuck. When you're complaining, you're just creating the same situation. It's like saying, bring me more of this, bring me more of this stuff that I'm talking about that I hate, and then people wonder why their lives are filled with like depression and anxiety, and like those things are real things, and I've experienced them. I've experienced depression, I've experienced anxiety, I've experienced all those things. I've been a very sad human being, and I had to like pull myself out of it. And we can get into this like mentality where we want to blame outside circumstances. We want to blame our coworkers. We want to blame our family members. We want to blame certain situations for what we're experiencing right now. But the harsh reality is that we created this, that we created whatever situation we're in, and it's up to us to create something new. And so the more you just dwell in this, like, it's not my fault, or I can't do anything about it, or I'm going to wait for something outside of me to change before I decide to make a change and do something different, before I decide to think differently. Nothing outside of us is ever going to change until we change within. And one of the ways we can do that is by shifting from complaining to complimenting. And this is one thing that I incorporated into my daily life. And of course, it took a lot of practice and it took a lot of training. It didn't happen overnight. But I worked as a receptionist at a doctor's office. And I would just start complimenting people, like my patients. And the patients there really liked me. Like I developed really close relationships with with my patients, and like I knew them by their name, and like I loved their children. And like when you compliment people, and you end up forming relationships with people that you don't even really know, but because you are complimenting them, because you're making them feel good about themselves, you end up making yourself feel good about yourself, and those things will boomerang back to you. So if you want to receive more compliments, if you want people to tell you you're doing a good job, if you want people to tell you you're beautiful, if you want people to tell you, like whatever you want to hear, you have to start doing it like to other people. And that's a great thing. And people complain about how terrible this world is and how nobody's kind and everybody's mean. It's like, but it all starts with us. How can you make the world a better place? If you could just make the world a better place just by complimenting people, think about how awesome that would be. How easy would it be to change the world just by complimenting people? And honestly, you can, because you're sending out more kindness, you're sending out more love, and what you send out, you get back. And so it's just like an exchange. It's just an exchange. And so it's an energy exchange. So I would just start by like telling, these patients, like, I really like your purse. Just like the simplest thing. I really like your shirt. I really like your hair today. Like, you look nice today. I like your outfit. Just this, I like your fingernail polish. I like your phone cover. Just the smallest thing. And what you don't even realize is that you could be making somebody's day just by telling them you like, their glasses, and smiling. I had to become very like conscious of this and try to smile, because I would have days, especially like when I was working at this job, and I loved this job so much that I had at the doctor's office, and especially because we worked with like lower income and like refugees and people that were like not from our country, and that was the coolest thing to me, is like the culture and the diversity, and like like getting to like hear somebody else speak another language, or like it was an amazing opportunity, and it helped me grow so much as an individual, and like realize like how big the world is, and like how grateful I should be, and especially for all the things that I have, and like the amenities that we have here in America that a lot of us take for granted. Like, people that come from other countries think it's awesome, like, because they don't have that, and we lose sight of that. And then we complain, like, we have all these problems, and it's like we don't have as many problems as we think we do. We're just creating these because we're stuck in this mental state of like not enough. And that was kind of coming up for me today too, so I also wanted to speak about like just not enough, and like the scarcity mentality, and the like just not feeling enough, or like you don't have enough, or like you don't have, like, your needs aren't being met, and your needs are always being met. And like, if they aren't, you have to meet them yourself. Like, you have to do it for yourself, and like, we want to, like, yes, it would be easier to do it, like to ask somebody else, or to, and then we have these expectations, that like somebody, like we expect somebody to help us, or we expect somebody to do this, or we expect somebody to do that. Then we just end up disappointed when we could have just like done it for ourselves. And then you just feel so much better. It's so much more like gratifying, and like when you can do those things yourself. And so anyway, another thing is like accepting a compliment. This was really another hard thing for me to do, and to like become aware of, and to learn about myself, especially as women. Like, it's really hard for us to like take a compliment. Like, when you do notice, like, when your like husband or boyfriend or significant other tells you like, oh, you look beautiful, like, do you say like, stop, don't say that, or do you say thank you, like because you do know. And like, when you hear it from yourself, once you hear it from somebody else, and it's just like, thank you, like, I appreciate that. Like, when people are kind to me, like, I appreciate their kindness, because I just appreciate kindness, and I'm kind to myself, and I like to be kind to others. And when you are kind to yourself, like, if you notice, like, people that like really beat themselves up, like, are generally like mean to other people. So like, your inner state will be reflected out in the way that you treat other people. So this is why, like, complimenting people that aren't very nice to you, like, kill them with kindness, that expression, like, that is so accurate. Like, just be kind, and, you know, like, don't like stab them in the back, or like, don't, I'm trying to think of, like, there's like this verse in the Bible where Jesus talks about, like, don't, you know, like, don't slap the enemy or something. I don't really know. That's probably way off, but, you know, like, turn the other cheek. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But it's just like, walk away and don't feed it. And then, like, we're talking about people behind their backs. Like, you're sending them energy, like, and you're dispensing your own energy by talking about other people, by complaining about other people. Like, what are you gaining from, like, complaining about somebody's driving, or complaining about what they're wearing, or complaining about the way they walk? Or, you know, it's just like, this is such a waste of your energy, such a waste of your precious energy that you have, when you could be sending out energy of positivity and kindness. And just by doing that, you are changing the world, you know. And people think, oh, like, you can't change the world. Yes, you can. And you can do it by changing your world, by changing your inner world. And as you change your inner world, you change your outer world. People, like, are in these, like, situations where they're struggling. And like I said, I'm there too. I'm dealing with stuff too. Like, but it's about shifting your mindset and, like, becoming, like, so your outer situation, your outer circumstances are just a reflection of what's going on inside. So whatever circumstance you're in, whatever challenge you're facing at this time, what is it trying to teach you? Like, don't blame yourself or get down on yourself, or especially once you realize what it is that got you into this situation. Just, like, see how you can, like, think differently. And once you can think differently, you'll begin to act differently. So, just, like, by complimenting people, and just by staying positive, and, like, whatever it is you feel like you're lacking right now, whatever it seems like whatever you're lacking, like, just give energy to that, but in a productive, constructive way, like, and ask yourself questions, and dig deeper into the situation you're in. And then by allowing yourself the space and time to receive the answers, then you'll be able to find your way out of, like, you'll be able to come up with a solution for your troubles, or whatever you're facing at this time. So, just talk about all your joys and all your happiness. And the hardest thing about, like, being super happy, and I am really happy, like, I have so much to be grateful for. Like, I feel like this passion inside of me, and I'm really excited about where my life is going. And it can be hard to express that, because when you're surrounded by people that aren't happy, you can't really express it. It's harder for you to express your happiness, because you don't want to, like, make somebody, like, feel bad, or, you know, like, that's one of my huge problems, is, like, I don't want to talk about my happiness, or, like, the things I'm excited about, because the people I'm around don't, like, believe in the same things that I believe in. And so it's hard for me to, like, express my joys and express my, you know, my thoughts and, like, my ideas. And I believe in speaking things into existence. I believe in, you know, like, talking things out. And, like, by me talking about my joys, I'm actually creating them. And so when you're, like right now, like, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm stuck in a situation where, like, nothing around me is resonating. Nobody around me is resonating. Nobody wants to hear me talk about my life and why I'm so happy, you know. And, like, I don't share my my journey and my story with people because they don't understand it. And it's not for them to understand, but they also don't, like, it's hard for them to be happy for me because they can't put themselves in that situation, and so we don't, like, it's hard for me to, like, express my happiness when I'm surrounded by people that aren't happy. And so that can make you feel like isolated. It can make you feel like you're alone. And like I've had things like that come up, but I'm kind of like using this as a way to like get my feelings out there. And I'm sure there's other people that feel like that too. But I'm also like in this where I'm in this space where like I'm very attractive. My energy is very attractive, so I'm attracting new things, but I have to let the old fall away. And that's called like the void is what I call it. And so it's like I'm in this space of like allowing things to come to me, but also appreciating where I'm at right now and like not feeling like I'm not doing enough or I'm not good enough or like that nothing's, coming for me or going to work out for me. Like I could fall into those mental traps of like, it's not going to work out. Like, whatever, all the BS I could tell myself, and, or I could just appreciate where I am. And like, especially like people are going to be like, relationships and friendships aren't going to be resonating anymore. And it's not like those people are like, you have to just be appreciative of like, what they've brought to your life. Yes, you might be moving on. You might not enjoy the same things anymore. And so, you won't be like around them as much anymore. But it's about being where you're at right now and appreciating everything that you have right now, but also longing for more and like allowing that to come in and not be like attached to how it comes or when it comes or how it's going to look or what the opportunities are going to be like. And that can be hard to not be attached to it and to not like be disappointed when it doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. But it's not about me. There's just a bigger plan at play, the divine is working in mysterious ways. And so it's just about like accepting where you're at right now. And I feel like that's really hard, is just to accept where you're at, accept what you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling depressed, maybe you're feeling lonely, and that's okay. Maybe you're feeling angry. Maybe you don't want to be where you're at. Maybe you can't stand the people you're around, But find the little things. What did you learn from this person? What did you enjoy while you were friends with this person? Like think about those things and appreciate those moments and everything they've done for you. And especially your family too, if you're like feeling like you like don't belong or you're ready to move on or they're not resonating with you. Still love them and appreciate them and spend time with them, but also like be open to new opportunities and like not everything is always meant to be in your life forever. And so it's about like learning to let things go and letting them be how they are without like trying to control everything. And you can't control the situations you're in, especially right now. I just feel like a lot of the things that are going on in people's lives are divinely orchestrated. And this can be hard for people to understand with the mind, because the mind wants to have everything figured out. It wants to know everything. And it just doesn't, and it can't. It can never comprehend some of the things that we have to experience. It can never comprehend some of the things we have to go through. And so we have to kind of talk to it. We have to tell our brains and we have to tell ourselves that, like, we're going to get through this. We're going to make it. It's going to be okay. And you have to be your own cheerleader and compliment yourself and focus on the good and what you have in your life that's good right now, because like it could be all taken away, and this life is like who knows how long we have here. And it's just like be grateful for everything you have and tell your family and your friends that you love them and spend time with them. And sorry, I would itch in my ear. Oh my goodness. Okay, so sometimes like when I'm channeling, I just like my ear will itch or my nose will itch or like my armpits sweat really bad. It's just like, oh my goodness. Okay, so anyway, that's all I have for today. Oh, so I just hope that everyone has a wonderful day. Appreciate everything you have. Be grateful. I'm sending lots of love and lots of positive energy to everyone watching this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.